Welcome to the fastest daf in town. Today on the Masechtas Rosh Hashana daf Lamed Hey, which is the last daf in this Masechta. We are going to begin on Lamed Daled Amud Beis, about 10 lines on the bottom of the Amud. So Gemara says as follows, quoting the Mishnah: Kashem sheshliach tzibur chayev kach kol yachid v'yachid. So Tanya, we learn Amrul Rabbi Gamliel with the Varacha, according to your words, Lamed Tzibur Nispalin. Why is it necessary to have the tzibur daven, as Rashi say, b'lachash privately, if the shliach tzibur can just do it for you? The purpose is in order that the shliach tzibur should be able to organize his tefillah. If you have to do it anyway, so then why do you have the shliach tzibur do the davening and the repetition? Because it's a way to help those individuals who are not experts, that they'll be able to fulfill the obligation of davening by hearing the Chazaras Hashatz from the Shliach Tzibur. That just like he can be mighty someone who's not an expert, he can also be mighty an expert. And look at this Taisus on the bottom, in Kan Pasuk Mehilchas Kedolos, the Yachid Shita. If let's say you made a mistake, you forgot Yav Yavo, even though you're an expert in davening, if a person made a mistake and didn't do a certain part of the davening, so you could always listen to the Shliach Tzibur's repetition and be yoytza that way, if you hear the entire thing with Chil V'Yad Soif. Ayin Toisus. Amar Rabba Bar Chanam Rabbi Yochanan Moedim Chacham Rabbi Gamliel, they will agree, Rabba Emer Adayin, that they actually do agree. It's also a machlokas if the person is, whether a person is a baki or not. Fine. Shama Rabbi Chia Barei the Rabba Bar Nachmani Ozul Amro L'Shmaitza. He said the sugya of Kamei the Rab in front of Rab Dimi Bar Chimna. Armalei Haki Amar Rab Adan Hi machlokas. Again, it's still a machlokas whether the person is or is not a baki, whether or not he can be yotzei. Armalei Rabba Bar Chana Nami Hachi Kaimer Kim Rabbi Yochanan Hashmaisa Ipul Gerei Shlokish, that he argues the Amar Adayin Hi Machlokas. Again, whether the Shliach Tzibur can be mitzvah, even a baki, or only someone who isn't a baki. When Amar Rabbi Yochanan Hachi, did he really say this? The Amar Rabbi Chanan Si Parra Amar Rabbi Yochanan Hilchas like Rabbi Gamliel. So he says the halachas like Rabbi Gamliel. Now the fact that he says the halachas like Rabbi Gamliel, Hilchas b'chal the plagi. It must be there's actually an argument over here. So as we continue to Lamed Hamad Aleph, Kisolik Rabbi Ava Miyamai, when he came from the sea, says Rashi, Shehiflig B'sfina L'yam L'chazer, he went onto the boat and returned. Pirsha, he explained as follows: Moedim Chacham Rabbi Gamliel, that they agree B'brachos Shel Rosh Hashana V'Shel Yom Kippurim, that when it comes to the brachos of Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur, you could be yotzi from the Shliach Tzibur. The halacha mechla de plegi bebrachos the whole shana. The fact that it says halacha mechla de plegi bebrachos the whole shana, they argue all year round. Eini v'yamarav chana sipuro imarav yochanan halacha kabegamliel bebrachos, as we said. But it says halacha bebrachos shel Rosh Hashanah v'shel Yom Kippurim. The fact that he says halacha is like him regarding brachos of Rosh Hashanah Yom Kippur, it must be they argue there too. El Omer Rav Nachman Bar Yitzchak Man Chacham Man Moedim Rav Meir, who agrees this is referring to Rav Meir. But halacha mechla de pligi Rabbanan. When we say the halacha mechla de pligi is referring to Rabbanan. The Sanya Bracha Shel Rosh Hashanah Yom Kippur Shel Sima Maitzid Harabim Nechavasan Dib Rav Meir. Rav Meir says that according to Rav Meir, that on Rosh Hashanah Yom Kippur the Shliach Tzibur can be moitzi everyone else. So Chacham Omer Kashem Shel Shliach Tzibur Chayiv Kach Kol Yachid Yachid Chayiv. Just like the Shliach Tzibur is Chayiv, so too the Yachid. Every person is obligated to daven themselves. So Maishna Hani Ilim Mishum Nafishi Kroi. Why is it possible that when it comes to Rosh Hashanah Yom Kippur that we say that you could be yotzid by the Shliach Tzibur? It's because there's so many psukim. Once you say that, you don't have to do any more. Says Rashi. In Sarach Leimer Mikrois Hamusafin. You don't have to say any more psukim. So it can't be because there's too many psukim, because you don't have to necessarily say them. El mishum di avshi brachos, because it is a long or it's a lot of brachos. Says Rashi, sharikan teisha is 9, varuchos they're long, umatois, and you can make a mistake. The enar kol bekian behen, not everyone's an expert in them. And then he quotes the Rabbi Chananel, b'malchus zechronis ha'shayfers v'kashli hadloik rabban like Rabbi Yochanan ben Nurek. Right. So let's continue the Gemara. Kufa, Omer Rav Chananel Omer Rav, Kivanchi Omer Rav Sros more. She say that Shuli and Asar cannot do anymore. Saber Mina. So we learn out from here. Hani Mila biyachid. The only time we say all this is only by an individual. No, but tzibor loy. When it comes to a tzibor, not. Yemar Rav Shubin Levi Echad Yachid Echad Tzibor. Kivanchi Omer Sros Kosuv Leimor Shubin Asarich. Whether you're an individual or it's a tzibor, it doesn't make any difference. You only have to say that and no more. A person shouldn't just immediately daven. First he has to organize, make sure he looks at all the davening, make sure he knows how to do it, and then you should daven. He's probably talking about the very long davening of Rosh Hashanah Kippur that you should look at. Also the Shal Prakim. Shal Prakim, Rashi says, is Muadais during the Yom Tovim. That davening is different. Something which is all year round, which we're used to say it's shigur b'fiv, it's something which is fluent coming from our mouth, that's not necessary to do. You don't have to look at it first. Any Bahal Rabbi Yehuda Masada Slu say he would organize his davening of Matzlin, he would daven. Shana Rabbi Yehuda Kivan Dimitlasin Yoimin, since every 30 days with Tlasin Yoimin Havi Matzli Kiprakim, it's considered to be like Prakim. In other words, he only davened every 30 days. Says Rashi, Talmudu Kol Shloshim Yoim. Because he was always involved in his daven, in learning, so he was given the sensation that his requirement to have to daven was not like everyone else. Amar Avacha Bar Avira Amar Rav Shimon Chasida Paiter Hayur B'Gamliel Fiu Am Shebesadais. He said that even the person who's out in the field, in other words, someone who's not able to come, since not everyone davens, so as the shliach is moitzi, so too the people in the fields, right? So again, the people who are not bikiyim, and also the people in Am Shebesados, people that are even here, also those people he's yaitzer. Lova boy, hani dekaymi hacha, and certainly the people that are here. So he said, Adarabba, hani nisi, hani lo nisi, the one who are oinsim, the people in the fields that weren't able to make it, so he's yaitzer by them. However, the other people who are not in Oinus, those people just didn't show up, right? So those people are not going to be included because they're not in Oinus. The Tani Abba Berei Rab Minyamin Bar Chia Am Shachuri Kohanim Einu B'Chlal Bracha. If let's say even if you're there, but you're behind the Kohanim, the Kohanim have to be in front of you. You can't be behind them. If you're behind them, you're not going to get the bracha of Birchas Kohanim. It will not take effect on you. It says Rashi, Valpapi, She'am Shebasados B'chal Bracha, the Am Shebasados do get it, even though they're not there at all. V'yiftu Kohanim Aleihim v'yavarchem v'heim lo bo in B'chal Bracha. But these other people are not. So the fact that Am Shebasados, they're Yotze, or they get the Bracha of Birchas Kohanim, doesn't mean it applies for even the people that are there that are just not doing it properly. Now, Kiyos Rabbi Rav Yaakov Bar Rav Shimon Chasida will pater Rav Gamliel El Am Shebasados. Only them. My time is shown in Nisim Malacha Abel Beir Lo. But those other individuals who are in the city, the din is not. If we look at Rabbi Chananel over here, it says toward the very bottom, Kiyos Rabbi Oimer says Lo pater Rabbi Gamliel Am Shebechneses, those that are there, B'shaymin Mishlet Tzibor, Ba'am Shebesados, the Heim Onusim Shein Yecholim Lovo, Avol Deshchichi Be'ir, the people that are found in the city, will also they just decide not to come. Will Patul Rabbi Gamliel. So he's talking about people that the Am Shebesados is an Einus, but the people just said stam, they're in the city, they can go, but they decide not to go, so the Shlet Tzibor will not be moed to them. Okay, let's see a couple of questions, and obviously we're going to stop because that's the end of the Sechta. Question 9. Alma Omru B'Gamar Kivan Shem Rav Sorosh Chazmei Mor Shuvei Netzarech. and this requires Rashi. It says the Lord Karaboisav. So he says it's referring to the Mikrois, the Tfilois Hamusafim. When it comes to the psukim of that, as mi Potter Rabbi Gamliel min hatfila the whole Hashana mishum sheshlech tzibur moitzi. Who does Rabbi Gamliel pater all year because the shlech tzibur is moitzi them, and who is he moid uvami moidim lo chachamim? So Rabbi Gamliel paters as Am Shabbasados. The chachamim are moide b'mi she'enu baki. Someone who's not an expert, even the chachamim agree to that. So the Rabbi Gamliel comes and he includes even the Am Shabbasados. T.A. 19. Matai yishchiv l'haster tfilasu koidem shispalo. When do you have to look at it before? So it's davening, which comes every 30 days. But fil shaboyim v'shloishim yoyim l'shloishim yoyim kamo Rosh Hashana v'yom kippurim u'moadim. Hanulach yom tov v'slikal ha'masechtas Rosh Hashana. Hanulach yom tov v'slikal ha'masechtas Rosh Hashana. Hanulach yom tov v'slikal ha'masechtas Rosh Hashana. Tomorrow we'll continue in Masechtas Tainus. Mazel tov.